Welcome back to Arise News Now. Earlier, we brought you the update on the ongoing hostage crisis in Syria and Iraq as ISIS counts down the possible execution of a Jordanian pilot. Joining us now is Riyadh Mohammed al-Hamdani, a Middle East journalist and analyst. Tell us about the negotiations here, especially with this Jordanian pilot. But before we get to this, to Japanese hostages, from what we know, as early as mid-November, Japan knew at least 2 of their citizens were held hostage by ISIS. What kinds of plans or negotiations were they involved in, if any, and how do they deal with the hostage situation in that country?
Reading what happened so far and judging from the behavior of the Japanese government so far, I can judge that they were not really prepared for this crisis at all. You see, from previous hostage crises, you have 2 ways to deal with hostage crisis. You either do it the American way, which is basically you don't negotiate with terrorists and you try to rescue them by force, as they did in Yemen, in Syria before. Or you do it the European way, which is basically you try to keep silent and let the intelligence agency handle this and try to give ISIS something so they would let. After several attempts before, there was now a standard price, which is €2 million. The problem with the Japanese government, they neither did it the American way nor the European way. The prime minister was, I could say, was not equipped for this crisis. He basically criticized ISIS heavily several times, and the same time when he was trying to negotiate. That just not the way that you could.
Well, we understand also in Japan there was not a whole lot of sentiment by the people there, popular to do any kind of negotiation for these 2 citizens that were there based upon a multitude of reasons. But let's move on from that. We know that ISIS obviously is using hostages for money, at least in part. In the situation with the Jordanian pilot, they're saying that they may release a terrorist that they have in their captivity. I've got to ask you, do you think if they do that, would that be a good move?
It depends on the government and the way the pressure its people are imposing on it. So there is no way that I can say that's the right way or the wrong way. You see, if you look at ISIS, they never negotiate with the Iraqi government or with the Syrian government. Despite they have thousands of them, they just simply kill them because they know that their government don't really care.
Quickly, we have less than a minute left here. I just want to ask you, what can you tell us about, ISIS still seems to be somewhat of an enigma to many people around the world. What can you tell us about this group? What is their end game or objectives here?
It is definitely an enigma, and the problem is that you're fighting a war with an enemy that you're not trying to understand. ISIS is very non-standard terrorist organization, and you need to deal with it in a non-standard way. Basically, tomorrow morning I'm having another article about their strategies. Everything seems so random in their violent acts, but they're actually well planned and well measured. Well, you just need to dig in their mind to understand them.
Looking forward to that article and more to learn about ISIS. Riyadh Mohammed al-Hamdani, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
All right.